2017, March 1st. I want to share my theory about why gold prices, paper gold prices, and stock prices may be included in this theory, were as volatile as they were on the night of the election. This is my conspiracy theory, and it has some roots in Zero Hedge and Bloomberg. I consider Bloomberg a very good source, but it is also in Zero Hedge for those of you who prefer it. So it is on both of these sources that Stanley Druckenmiller sold his gold on the night of the election and bought stocks. I don't know how much exactly he sold, and but you can suppose that he had quite a lot. He also was not necessarily the only one that did what he did on the night of the election. Probably there was another side to this trade which bought what he sold. I mean, it must have been another side to buy what he sold. But I remember I heard Mike Norman wondering how is it that gold only went down as little as it did, since the quantity sold was quite big. So how is it really? And now this is where my conspiracy theory starts, and I don't have any source, I just speculate now. Some entity bought it from him because he managed to sell it. What entity could it be? Private speculators and investors? Probably they bought a little part of what he sold, of the paper gold that he sold, paper contracts on gold without delivery. So what bought the majority of what he sold? And now I suspect that it is the Fed. In this instance, the Fed actually kept gold from plunging in price sharply. For some of you it probably was sharp, but I believe that the Fed, maybe the ESF, maybe, I don't know, whatever part of the government that deals with paper gold contracts intervened in order to prevent a sharper decline in price. Why would they do it? They usually want to suppress commodity prices, and especially precious metals. So why would they do it? For one, because they, according to Paul Craig Roberts and Rob Kirby, Jim Willey, according to these people, which may be right, the Fed has a part of its balance book is a naked short on gold. So if they buy, if they have a huge naked short and they buy at a discount a long on gold, then this way they reduce their risk, if you can call it risk, because they are never at risk of running out of paper currency. But this way, now when they own both short and long, for example, if they get a margin call on their shorts, they can use the long as a collateral, the long on gold as a collateral, and this way, without currency creation, they can both suppress the price of gold and reduce their loss, and simultaneously they get collateral. Their collateral for the margin call increased. So this way they got like a free meal. So one could ask, why didn't they let it plunge and then plunge further than it did, and then bought this paper contracts? Well, maybe because they don't want to cause such a price reduction that will cause mines to close, which happens as it is. Maybe they don't want it to happen more than it already does. So these are just my speculations, but again, it was not the Fed that sold gold on the night of the election. It was Stanley Druckenmiller, and you can search it in Zero Hedge and on Bloomberg. In Bloomberg, it is Druckenmiller sold gold on election night. On Zero Hedge, it is Druckenmiller, I sold all my gold on the night of the election. On the night of the election. So, also, suppose even that he was the only one that shared his opinion that growth is going to come and gold should be sold and stocks should be bought. Suppose that he was the only one out of all the more than 100 billionaires in America alone, not in the entire world, in America alone. Suppose that he was the only billionaire in the world that thought what he thought. Still, his sale of gold probably triggered some if not margin calls, then at least stop losses from some players, which increased its impact. So even if he was the only billionaire that did it, which I doubt, but it really could be, it was still more than just his money, just his currency being sold as long paper contracts on gold. So it was quite certainly more than what the total amount being sold was bigger than what Druckenmiller had, because of what I just explained. So this is your intervention. In fact, I believe the intervention, the government, the American government, maybe other governments also, but the state intervention, which is not exactly state, because I know the Federal Reserve is not entirely public, it is partially private. I do believe it. I'm not going to deny it. So the state, in my opinion, prevented a steeper plunge in the prices of gold, and it was actually the private sector alone which supposedly intervened, if you can call it intervention, and suppressed the price of gold on the night of the election and bought stocks. Now regarding stocks, I remember that Carl Icahn also flipped on the night of the election and probably got rid of his of most of his short position and went long. So if you add Icahn to Druckenmiller and probably others, again, like I said before, probably a short squeeze and some profit taking on the part of the short sellers. So in this case, again, you get your intervention without speculating that it is a Federal Reserve intervention. This is what I am starting to believe. I don't deny that the Federal Reserve and the Exchange Stabilization Fund rig markets. They do rig markets. But in this case, I think the opposite is true. In this case, I think they rig the market to the benefit of the gold stackers, pushers, long speculators, long side speculators, whatever. It is just that the sale was bigger than what they were willing to buy. So there was a plunge, but the plunge was much smaller than it could have been without state intervention. So this is my theory about what happened on the night of the election, and why it is reversed. But still there is the question why the reversal was as big as it is, because the stocks keep rallying since then, and gold rallied too since then, not as much as stocks, but it did rally since then. So it didn't reverse after all. The stocks did, the gold did not. I mean, the gold did reverse immediately, almost immediately, but re-reversed after it. It returned to going up. The stocks went up and kept going up. So in this case, I want to know myself what is happening regarding stocks.